Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And of course, I had the wrong button pressed so that we can jump our camera back. Hey, good morning, folks. AJ, the CEO here. Yay. We're here. Man, glad to see y'all here. We've been running since getting back from vacation, which shows me I need another vacation. I haven't posted a lot of videos, but we have been working. Actually, the ATEM1ME constellation video should have actually posted this morning at 9:30. So not sure. I guess I didn't send that out to get buffered and everything like that for it to go out to everybody. Let me actually do that real quick. But we have been working at Union Hope Baptist Church. Thought I was going to be able to get it done in 2 days, but the electrician didn't finish what they were doing, so I don't have any power for anything. So right after this, we are heading back out to King William to hopefully finish that up. We only got 1 day left. One of the TVs that I actually picked up from Best Buy was cracked, and I have that in the car, so we're going to be putting that in place, running all the cables. We couldn't do any CSAA ministry because the crawl space was too small, and I could not get up under there. So we're running the cables on the floor for right now. We'll come back and do some conduit to make it look all nice and pretty. Have to move some pews out the way because we're making a media booth in the back of the church. I did this video maybe a year and a half ago, and they finally moved forward with getting it done. So that's what we got going on. So, and then the constellation, we also have the Unify Express. This is a router and Wi-Fi 6 access point. Have the video for that. Need to finish editing that. We have the Alto P3 Bluetooth that we're going to need to do a review. I've used this a couple of times, but never did a review on it. We have the M2 Go Stream. This is the updated one. It's still wrapped. Going to redo that whole video because the other one had a little issue with it. So we're going to be reviewing this one again. And got a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if you can see it. This TV was damaged a while ago, and I've been doing some surgery on it, changing out the motherboard and all this other stuff to get that work. Isn't working, so I need some other pieces. But we've been busy nonstop. And then my home church, they got hit with lightning again. So, and I think it's an electrical issue in the church. So half the security cameras are out. Got to replace a third switch to put that. So I'm gonna have to go do that right before I leave from here and ship that back out for RMA. We got training at Abundant Life where we're putting in the constellation that we just did a review on. Something else is going on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I took off. Thursday is my birthday, so I do have to do a meeting on Thursday, but after that, I plan on just sleeping all day. But thank y'all for the early happy birthday, so I really appreciate that. But let's holler at some folks here. Chanel, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Good morning. Reverend Leroy, good morning. Reverend Richard, good morning. Brian, hello, hello. Patrick, how you doing? I did see your email. I can't remember if I responded back to you or not. Sorry about that. Kevin, good morning. G. Albert, hello, hello. Thomas, hello. Richard, good morning. Darius, and it just jumped on the second page for me. Darius, good morning. Unconventional Sphere World, good morning. Mike, what is going on? Mr. Clarence, hello, hello. Ralph, hello, hello. Jerry, good morning. Parker, I was going to say Patrick. Parker, good morning. Daniel, good morning. TJ, hello, hello. Aaron, hello. Bruce, hello, hello. And Ms. Anderson, how are you doing? From San Fran. And I think that's about it, folks. So if you have any questions, folks, please start it off with a Q in the colon or semicolon, whichever one. So that way it makes it easier to jump out. If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. give me 48 to 72 hours. I'm looking over to make sure the sound is right. That the sound is still going. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond. If you go back and forth with me over more than 4 emails, I would highly recommend that you just go ahead and book a consultation. You can go to ajhomes.com/consultations. That is the easiest way to do it. That way I have dedicated time to talk with you. If you try and call me out of the blue, it is highly unlikely I will be able to help you just because it's just crazy. My schedule is crazy, and I'm bouncing all over the place, folks. So I am looking for some tools here that are not showing in YouTube. Okay, so let's go to Social Blade, and we'll do it that way instead. Give me a half a second, folks. Where is it at? There we go. We will use that. Let's move this over to our other screen. Come on now. Thank you. Like, these ads on website is getting out of control because it won't even let me pick anything. All right, so what I want to do is give a big shout out and thank you to all of y'all because we just hit 64,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. We are just a hop, skip, and a jump away from 70,000. This is where we're doing our giveaway here, where we have 2 giveaways. We got one $2,000 one or 2 $1,000 ones. It's whichever way we do. That is a live streaming bundle for the 2,000, and then the 2 1,000s are the mini PC live streaming bundle that we did a video on. And again, this is something that I promised that I said I was going to do on our way to 250,000 subscribers. There's a link down below to get to it. If you haven't, you can always go to this link. This link is also down below. If you've already entered, you don't have to enter it again. Hold on, gotta sneeze. Woo, excuse me. All right, audio is still good. So if you've already entered, you don't have to enter again. If you are a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter, I enter you into the system twice as another way of saying thank you for your support. And that's what we'll do. And I'm just trying to set all my stuff up so I can get these announcements out of the way, folks, so I can get to answering your questions. So if you like any of the eMissionary gear, and if you want to help, another way to help contribute to what we do, because I don't take sponsorships. Well, actually, I've never been offered a sponsorship yet, but you can always go to emissionarygear.com. We got shirts and all the other stuff, merch that you can get. All of that goes to help pay for the giveaways that we're doing that we promised to do every 10,000 subscribers all the way to 250,000. Also, we want to shout out your team. Your media team is doing great stuff, folks. So email me a question at AJhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. Take a picture of your team. Tell me your ministry and all this other stuff so I can shout them out. Also, all of our books are still on Amazon. So thank you for the people who are still purchasing those. And please let me know if you got them. And if you got the book, have you started implementing anything? If you have, what is it that has jumped out to you? So we got some bad news. We have to say our eMissionary vacation, group vacation, has been canceled. Haven't got a lot of traction on it, so kind of missed the deadline with the hotels. So we had to go ahead and cancel that. And also, we did not meet the booking for the cruise. So the eMissionary cruise for next year has also been canceled. I'm still going, but the group discounts, since we didn't meet the time, the amount of books, booked rooms, all of that has gone away. I'm still going on June 23rd to 27th, so the itinerary is still there. You're welcome to go, and we'll see you there if you decide to go. But as a group, unfortunately, we didn't meet the criteria, so we had to go ahead and shut that down. So I think that is enough of my blabbing. So let's go ahead and fire away at some questions. Some of them I've started them, answering them already, but let's see. Chanel was asking, is there a special or specific way to get people to volunteer for the tech team? like younger people? Or should I just continue to have the poster out and hope someone bites? It just hasn't worked. It's been like 3 months. So I did a video talking about this and what how this worked for me. Because when I was at Antioch originally, before COVID, we had a lot of people were saying, AJ, why don't you get some of these youth involved? And, I'm not going to say it exactly the way they were saying it because it didn't really help with the way they were saying it. And I said, I'm not going to post a poster. I'm not going to make a video announcement. I'm not going to do any of that because that's how it has for 15 years. That's how they did it at Antioch. And in 15 years, they only got me. So obviously, one person in 15 years to volunteer is not good. So let's take a different approach. What I did at that time, everybody was into YouTube. They wanted to be the next YouTube thing. But all of the people, all the kids at the church, the closest YouTube person that they know that knew anything about YouTube was somebody on YouTube that they had no way to contact. So all I did is I just kept putting my head down and working and posting videos about YouTube, about what I'm doing in media ministry. That's what I did. And as the kids sat in church and they weren't paying attention to church, they were on their phones and their tablets, because of the algorithm, sooner or later, I started showing up on their feed. And then they're like, okay, Mr. AJ's on here. Then the next Sunday, it will show up again, but it'll be a different video. And then they see my subscriber count going up. They see the viewers going up. And then over time, the kids would come up to me and say, hey, Mr. AJ, I see you on YouTube. I'm like, yeah, what do? Everything that you see here that happens every Sunday, I make videos about that. They're like, so you're on YouTube and you just talk about the stuff that you're doing at church? Yes. And what I did is I was able to be that person that they could actually talk to and that would answer questions about YouTube. And some people I would let them see behind the scenes. I would show them how the stuff we do in media contributes, and everything we do in the media ministry is the exact same thing that all of their favorite YouTubers do. We live stream, we got the cameras, we got the phones, we got the graphics, we got the editing, all of that stuff. I showed them how to learn how to do it. They could do it with the equipment that we have at church to practice, and they don't have to spend their money. Their parents don't have to spend the money, and they can learn how to do what they need to do and practice, and then they could migrate into other stuff, gaming and stuff like that. And I met them where they were interested at. Instead of trying to tell them we need people to fit the media ministry, I showed them how the media ministry is a gateway to get the knowledge and the experience in the path of what they want to accomplish, which was being an influencer, being on YouTube, being someone who knows how to video edit. And then before COVID, I had around 21 kids from the ages of 12 to 26 volunteer. And COVID kind of knocked that out. But that was not me recruiting anybody. That was them coming to me in the media ministry saying, we want to join. So it's about building the bridge of showing how this can help them accomplish their desires and their dreams instead of trying to fit them into the media ministry. And I hope that helps. So that's what worked for me. If anybody else has any other suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Reverend Leroy has a question. Good morning, AJ and family. Which would you choose, the Near Pro Metal C stand, light stand, or the overhead stand? Talking about that one right here. Overhead camera on and why? Beside not used in pros, used at pros and cons. For me, it's mainly about the space. I don't have the space for a C clamp because my printer, you can see it. My printer is right here, so I don't have anywhere to put it on the floor so that it's far enough away so you don't see the stand in my shot. And I kind of just got tired of you're going to see the stand. And since I rent this place, I can't really put anything in the walls and ceiling and stuff like that. Because what I personally would do is I would take this and mount it on the ceiling. So I wouldn't have anything in the way, and I'd run cables in the ceiling and run them where I need to do. I can't do that here. But that's the only difference. The C-clamp one, excuse me, is about $50 more than what that mount was. So either one of them works. I just need something that's stable. And if I had more space, I would probably go with the Near. But what I personally would do is it's an extension arm that I want to get that actually folds up against the wall and is built into that, and it just builds down. So I would do that, or I would mount it directly to the ceiling. But that's the reason why I do it, is for amount of space. This one I can clamp onto the table, and the table's already there, so I ain't got to worry about it. With that C-clamp, I need floor space to get it on the floor, and that's going to eat up the little amount of space that I have. I mean, this place is crammed with everything that I got right now. So that's the reason why I went in that direction. Hope that helps. Next one. Patrick, how do you get a macro to play 2 videos back to back on the HyperDeck? When recording the macro, what do I do after hitting play on the first video? What you need to do is put a pause in between it so that you give it enough time for the video to play out. So when you're making a macro, if we come over here and say we want to set a macro, so I got a couple of them here that changes my shots to different angles and stuff like that. That's what my macros are doing. When you record it, say you would make one, and then you would come over here, set it to play. I don't have mine linked here, which is strange. Hold on. Let me get this back on here. HyperDeck. And I don't know why it loses my connection. How does it say it's disconnected? 1.2.168.0.253. I don't know why mine is not connecting. Oh, well. So anyway, it would be here. So you would set the macro, make it, in that macro, you would set the scene to be, well, I guess you could do it all in the macro when you hit this button. So let's try and make one, even though it's not going to work exactly. So I would say play. So I record it. First, I would set it to that input. So say the input is actually this camera, and I went away when I actually recorded it. So hold on, let me go back. That's why I hate doing the macro like this. So let's try it again. So y'all have to just trust me when I do this, because I can't switch away when I'm actually doing this. So we would record, set it, and then we would pick. Just imagine the super source is the HyperDeck. I will put it here. Then we would go over, select the file, hit play, and then however long that video is, we would want to add a pause. So we would add a pause here. We would put in the amount of time for the length of your video. So it would let it play. It would pause and not do nothing until your video is over. After you add that pause in, then you would change it to the new track, the next video, hit play, put another pause in for the amount of time of that next link, and that's it. That's how I would do that. So I hope that helps. And let me actually delete that because I don't need that. So that's how you would do that. You just got to put a pause in for the amount of time, how long that video needs to play, and you don't need to touch anything, and that would work for you. Kevin, what's a better switcher to purchase in 2024, the YOLO Box Ultra or the A10 Mini Extreme? It all depends on what it's going to be used for. The YOLO Box Ultra has a lot of good features because it already has a screen. It can do multiple streaming to different platforms. The A10 cannot do that. You can also hook it up to a SIM card, Wi-Fi. You have a lot of features with the YOLO Box. So if I was traveling a lot and I wanted to have a small footprint, the YOLO Box. So like if I was still doing live streaming of the games and I had a limited amount of cameras, say three cameras. I think that's the Ultra has 4 inputs. So it could be something like that, 3 cameras and then like a computer for a scoreboard. I can do all of that. And then I don't have to worry about a monitor and all this other stuff. So I can just have that, my Starlink and my cameras and like a laptop, and I'm good to go. And that's it. Compared with the A10, you need to have a monitor. You only have wired connection. So that means you probably have to have a switch somewhere. It all depends on is it portable if it's stationary? If it's stationary, personally, I would go with the A10 Mini Extreme just because it has more features. But if you're trying to move around a lot, it would be the Yellow Box Ultra, in my personal opinion. All right, next we got Thomas. My AVCam's joystick stopped working. It has a white screen with the AV logo and just beeps every time you touch the joystick or any other button. Please help. Well, that's kind of hard to really do. It all depends on it depends on which joystick you got, because when it boots up, need to know in that boot up process, what is it getting to? So if I look at my joystick here, I'm just trying to find the IP address. And just like that, mine froze. I think I pressed the wrong thing. Give me a second. I just need to find the IP address for this, because we need to see which joystick you got, because it depends on the firmware. So when it boots up, we want to see, is it booting up enough to get an IP address? Because if it does, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get an IP address. All right, so it's 90. So when it's booting up, we would need to find out whatever the IP address is to see, does it boot all the way up to at least start the web interface? And that's only applicable if you have the one that actually supports that. So if you're able to get to this, then you might want to get in here and try and see if you can do a factory reset or something like that. Maybe you can get in here and find out what the firmware is and see if you can do an upgrade. If you can't get to this page, or if the one doesn't support it, you need to reach out to AVCans, and either they should be able to push an update. You might have to send it to them, or replacement or something like that. So if you can't get into this interface to interface with it in any way, shape, or form, unfortunately, you're kind of stuck. But I would say, see if you can go to the web page, the IP address of the joystick, and see when it's booting up, does it at least get to that? If it doesn't, all right, I think I'm back. That was crazy. All right, I'm waiting for it to catch up on this side. Sorry about that. I mean, it just, like, everything just went boo. Now, my battery backup for my network and my internet stayed up, but I only have the battery backup for that. Let's see. Let me refresh this. Oh, no. All right, I think I'm back. Yeah, all right. I just heard myself, so I think we're back. I don't know what happened, folks. I think just the power just went out and just everything just went boom and everything just shut off. My battery backup kicked in, so my network and internet was still on, but I don't have anything for here. Another reason why I am looking forward to getting a house so I can have a battery backup for everything. Wow, that was crazy. All right, let's see where we left off at. All right, and my phone is catching back up here. Let me see where we left off at. Okay, we just finished talking about Thomas and the joystick. Conventional sphere world. How do I train others in the media team while still growing in my own creative skills? You learn, the best thing to get better in what you're doing is when you teach other people. That's what I've learned so much by just teaching y'all, because you just have to be confident in what you do know. Don't try and fake and act like you know more than you really do. That's kind of like the thing is, whatever you've mastered as best as you possibly can, share that knowledge. And then as you progressively keep pushing yourself more, by you teaching other people, it helps refine how you can teach and package up the information that you do know to share with other people. That is how I've worked with so many times to try and explain something that's really convoluted, then have to shrink it down and so it's digestible and understandable by other people. So whatever that skill is, whether it's just like running the scenes for OBS, if it's just making shortcuts and stuff like that for your cameras, you start with where you're at, while still continuing to learn. And then you teach what you can when you've got a grasp to able to take the complex things and reword it in a way that's easily digestible and understandable to people behind you. And you just keep that going. That's kind of like the same way I do it here. The reason why I haven't done any of our own cast stuff is because I'm still learning it. I haven't gotten to the point where I can break it down so where I can share with other people. So that's kind of like how all my channel is. I only talk about the stuff that I'm proficient enough to be able to say. Now, it doesn't mean I'm a master at it and I'm perfect at it. I'm always learning, but you pass that information on because it helps reinstill that to you. So how you can teach it to other people, but it also should motivate you to keep moving forward to learn more stuff. So I hope that helps. Ralph saying we are going live September 21st with our worship team. I want to know how to get the lower thirds from Pro Presenter to OBS. I have a video going over that, but I will show it to you very quickly. And I'm bringing back up Pro Presenter since that was another app that did not, that I had open before I got everything shut down, which is strange. When I went into the utility box, it actually said the dryer fuse was tripped, and the dryer is on the 3rd floor. So I have no idea how that tripped this. I mean, all my other outlets were on. No, they were on batteries, like the lights behind me. Anyway, so the first thing we got to do is let's go over to, why is my pedal not working? Hold on. Come on. Half my buttons and stuff are not working now. Why is this not working? Ah, that's crazy. What in the world? All right, my pedals and all the other stuff is not working, so that's great. And I can't change that right now. All right, so let's go back over here to the desktop. So the first thing you need to do is you need to have whatever input that you have going into, and you said OBS, didn't you? You said how to do it into OBS. All right, let me do it that way. So let's actually close this, and let's start with Pro Presenter. So from Pro Presenter, we need to have our lower third. So let's see. Do we have any? I'm just going to take one that is already easily reachable so we can do this all over again. I'm just going to pull this from the Blackmagic ones that they give you as a sample, but the concept is still the same. And generic lower third. So I'm going to bring this image in here. So there's my lower third. So if I click on this, it shows like here, all right? It says, it looks like it's black. It's not, it's transparent. So the first thing we want to do is, and I don't know your setup, so I'm just going to do this as if this was NDI. So I need to make a new screen, which is just NDI. And I am, how can we do this? Do I already have this one? Okay, I actually already have this one as a NDI screen. Okay, so we're going to send this over NDI so that OBS can pick it up. All right, and this is if you don't have any connected to OBS in any way, shape, or form. And the Stream Deck on here is not working. What in the world? Hold on. My Stream Deck on my computer is not on, neither one of my computers is working. So give me a second. Stream Deck. All right, let's try that again. How is this not working? Oh, okay. It looks like the link to OBS is not working. Just don't you just love it when other stuff just stops working when you need it to? Hold on. OBS. Can we open that? Please. Thank you. All right. So, wow, it wiped out all of my OBS settings. That's crazy. All right. So anyway, so we're gonna bring in, and do I have any camera connected to this? Don't let it be said that or fool people into thinking that everything works perfectly all the time. There's always something that sooner or later will happen that will throw your stuff off. So you just got to be prepared for it. All right, so let's hook up our action camera here. All right, that came on. Anytime soon. Thank you. Thank you. There it goes. Now, webcam. All right, so we're going to add our camera here. And we're going to use the Osmo so we can actually do more here. So we're going to stretch that out. So that's our camera. Now, ProPresenter, we're sending everything over at NDI feed. So we're going to come over here. And of course, NDI is not going to show up now. Are you serious? All right. We just roll with it. All right. Let's go over here and change this to a different output instead. I'm going to change this to an available monitor. We'll put on this one. We're still going to do the same thing. It don't matter. We roll with it. So we got our lower third here going to a second monitor. We're going to capture that display. And that is going to be... Why is all of my stuff is wigging out on me? All right, we do monitor, our second monitor. So there's our lower third. We need to fit it to screen. So there we go. So as you can see, you can't see anything. So since you're doing a screen capture, I'm going to hold down Alt. Actually, excuse me, not Alt, Control. No, it was Alt. Why is all my stuff backwards today? Is somebody playing a prank on me or something? All right, let's hold down Alt, and we're going to shrink our screen to get rid of and chop off everything. So there we go. I slide it down, and then there is our lower third coming back from ProPresenter. Now, this all depends on how else you want to run stuff. So say I go back here to ProPresenter, and I want to do scripture. So let's bring up, I don't know, James 1. And I already have this in a lower third configuration. So if I come here and pick this, that is now what's being sent to that screen. But as you can see, it's all chopped up. So we need to readjust this so that we can actually see that lower third. So I'm holding down Alt, and I'm moving up to get as much as I possibly can. And I reposition this. And I don't like that black key there. So we're going to go to the display capture, do filters. And I really have no idea why it's not showing my stuff. All of my scenes were erased. All of my profiles were erased. What in the world? Anyway, we come in here. We're going to add a color key. Okay. We're going to pick a custom color, select color. And actually, I'm sorry. Y'all probably can't see that. That's what I have, that tool. See, Reverend Leroy, I am using the tool here, the highlighter tool. So let me go back. We'll go here, select color. And I want to pick from the screen. And I want to pick that actual black there. We hit OK. And now, see, it's completely transparent. And now you can see whatever. So if I come here back to Pro Presenter, why is this not hot? I'm clicking on it. It's not bringing up. I don't know what in the world's going on. Anyway, so if I come in here and change it, as you can see, now it's showing up here. So the easiest way to do this is you would just make another scene. So I would make a scene, and I don't know why OBS is not responding to anything. It's not showing me the pop-ups. So I can actually control it. All right. I would highly recommend you look at the video. I talk about it. I don't know why this stuff is acting up on me right now. OBS is not responding. Any of things with the Task Explorer window is not responding in any way, shape, or form. I have no idea what the heck is going on with my stuff. All right, let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see. All right, none of this stuff is working. Oh, well. We just got to go with it. So let me see what I can do to get through here and still get y'all's questions answered. Or maybe this is telling me I need to take a break because this stuff is just all over the place today. Page 3, page 2. Thank y'all again for the early birthday. Coach, hello. How are you doing? Southern Majestic Bullies. Interesting name. Not sure if this is media related. Clipping on an A10 Mini Pro. Clipping. We are running a Behringer X32. I have audio set to line, and the gain is turned down on mic 1 inside the ATEM. So what do you mean by clipping? Meaning that it is just like it's hitting a theoretical ceiling and the music is just flatted out. Give me a little bit of explanation there so I can see what direction we go with it. D Green, I had a run my church live stream from home this past weekend. It was a pain trying to control our PTZ cabinet or using the web interface. Is it possible to use a PTZ joystick controller remotely? Yes, it is, but you got to do some work to do it. It all depends. So that's another reason why I like to unify stuff, so I can bridge my unified network with somebody else's. So like when I was doing New Life Lutheran Church down in New London, I'm able to bridge their network through a VPN to mine. So I can control their sound, their camera, anything. It's like it links my stuff here with theirs. So just like if any of y'all work from home and you have to VPN into the office, it does the same thing. So I'm here at home. I can talk to anything at the office, or in my example, I can talk to anything that's at the church as if they were all on the same network. So that's how that works. It's kind of hard for me to kind of explain that because I need to know what your equipment is. But the main thing is you need to set up some type of VPN bridge at the church here. That's why I use the Unify, because it's already built in. So, for example, let's see if I can show you and make sure this is working too at this rate. And I can't take that down unless I reach over here. So let's go over here. So to my network here. So the Unify stuff here, I can make a magic site and I can bridge some stuff together. So I can come here and what's the one I know? I'll just use New London. So New Life. So I have that in here. I bridge my stuff together. I do add, and what network do I want to share together. So I want their regular network, the 50.0, to be bridged at the same time with my regular network. I believe that should work. And I do a connect. So now I should be able to see their stuff. So if I do a advanced IP scanner, and let's look at their network so we can actually see, are we hitting anything? So if I go to New Life, we go to their stuff here, and I want to look at what clients do they have available. So they have the TV there. So the IP address is 50104. So let's see. If I open up my command console, and I want to open up advanced IP scanner as well too. So can we ping it? So if we ping 192.168.50.104, it's not letting me do that. So let's try. I don't know if that will let me respond. Ping 192.168.50.152. Does that one work? There it goes. So see, we are talking to this printer. I believe that is a printer. So if I look at the network scanner, my IP address is 192.168.0. So I should not be able to do it, but now with this bridge, if I change it to 50 and I do a scan, I should now be able to see their network. And it's still scanning. I thought it stopped after 2, and I'm like, hold on. So what's that, 152? See, that's the printer that shows up, and I can bridge it. So let's look at it one more time. So that is a Hewlett-Packard printer. Let's see if I can add that printer. So if I go here to add a printer, do add device, and I want to manually add it. So let's see, will it let me scan and find it? So if I put the IP address in, and I want to put in the IP address of 192.168.50.152, so I was able to add it, even though now it's going through the VPN and building it. So the same way I had that, if I used my joystick and it was on that same network, I should be able to put in an IP address and talk to the camera that same way. All their cameras are off right now, so I can't turn them on, but it would work in the same concept. So if I can connect to a printer, the same way it will work. And there are other ways to do that. Let me know if y'all want me to do that. That's going to be a little bit more detailed, and I'll probably have time to do it here. I'll probably have to do that as a separate video specifically. But that's one way you can bridge it to where you're actually at home and you can actually connect to it as if you were there. So really cool. And I need to make sure I turn that network off here for my stuff. I do that for tech support if I need to reach out to them, and that really saves me from having to actually do to drive down there. So really cool. Cool stuff very cool stuff that Unify has built in. Let's see. Where do we leave off at? All right, TJ was saying on asking the questions, that was the same one we have. Let's go back here. Also, just realized you're answering my first question again. Thank you so much. Hey, you're welcome. Springtrap, good morning. Monty, what is up, sir? Steven, hello. Barry, hey, AJ, is there a way to access a mini computer without a monitor, like using a laptop or tablet as the screen? No, unless you use one of those wireless, headless HDMIs, and then you can just use remote Chrome desktop and you can remote into it and see it. But no, not with a laptop or a screen. You would have to like remote into it, and that's how you would see it that way. AA Imaging and Graphics. Did you ever do a review on the OC GoStream Duet? No, I have it here. Actually, I did it, but I had an issue with the model that they sent me, the unit they sent me, so they sent me a replacement. I'm going to redo that video pretty soon. Let's see. Let's go to page 1. I honestly, Mike, I normally would, but at my home church, I actually let them borrow my other one because their stuff. I keep hitting the pedal, thinking it's gonna bring my stuff down. I actually let them use it because it actually knocked everything out. So I put mine there as a backup. But since we want to talk about it, this is what honestly I want to do, and I can't. I think I may be able to do it here, but I'd rather just focus my attention on wanting to do something with my house that I get in the near future. So this is the Anchor smart home battery. So this whole thing can be hooked up into your panel. And then this panel, you just put one fuse in it. It runs a wire into that. And then it connects, it plugs directly into this. So it uses a different frequency so that if the power is off, you don't need an electrician technically to do this. It will send a current on a higher frequency than the electrical that's going into your house, and it will roll back into this. That's what I would like to do, and it's just really a panel and this one fuse. So technically, I probably could do it here because it's the same thing when I added a fuse for my EV charger. But ultimately, what I would really like to do, if you really want me to talk about the dream and all this other stuff like that, what I really want to do is have this one or a Tesla Powerwall, have about like 4 of these at the house that it can completely back up the entire house. Solar panels are charging this, and I'm running off of the batteries all day long. That's the dream. That's what we're looking at doing sometime in the near future. Let's go to this other page. And I think because some of my stuff is not working, I might have to shorten this. The storms in Fredericksburg last night were vicious. A lot of power outages. Yeah, it fried the second switch at Gates of Faith. And I think that's tied into the fact, and it also exposed it's a bad electrical outlets and wiring probably in that server room where we have set up. So Pastor Kyle is actually talking with Dominion to fix that because I think there's also bad power, not clean power. It's fluctuating that's coming into the church. So that's helping contribute to the issues. I was on my Generac for 2.5 days in South Michigan, had bad storms. Yes, it's crazy. You need to have some type of backups. D, hey, good morning. How are you doing? Reverend Leroy, yes, it was. I need to find out the name. I think you asked me that before. Let me see if I can dig it back up to find out what that was. Let me see. That was a camera mount. I think that might have been back in the day when that was my personal one that I ordered. Because I have the box, but it's like buried in the garage in a storage unit, and it's going to take me too long to try and dig out there to get that. But what I would do, I thought it was in my hold on. Let me look at my kit. I don't use kit that much because their website was garbage. It would load super, super slow. Let me see. I thought I had. See, I clicked on a link and it's just taking forever for it to load. I think that's the reason why I stopped using this. Yeah, I had it linked in here. But yes, it was on Amazon, and I have no idea where it is. I'm gonna have to find it, and I'll send you a link of what that was. Um, Springtrap wants to know, how do you do pricing for time and things that are needed? I leverage how much my time is worth and how much it took for me to learn the stuff that I'm doing, travel, and I price it off of that. So, sit down, prepare yourself. So I don't want to catch nobody off guard. It's not a bragging thing, but at this rate, since I'm a one-man show and what I do, since there are multiple disciplines that I do when I do the stuff that I'm doing, network engineering, pulling cables, programming, sound, um, IT, all this other stuff. What I do at my rate right now ranges from $150 to $250 an hour. That's what I do when I'm installing my stuff. So an average project, for the most part, 3 TVs being hung from the walls, computers, multiple cameras, video switchers, sound, internet, as well as doing training. On average, that project I charge outside of the materials that the church has to pay for. Most of the time, that is around and that takes me maybe 3 days to do work, 4 days at max. I normally charge around $5,000 to $6,000 to do all of that work, and that's my rate that I do. If I'm doing a live streaming of an event, it depends on what is being detailed. So, for the second year in a row, I'm going to be doing the Notary of the Republic for the conference for the state of North Carolina. I'm doing that next year, and that's live streaming an event all day. It's about a 6-hour session. I charge $2,000 to do that because I'm bringing all the equipment. I have the platform. I'm doing the editing. I do the graphics. I do all of that. So that compensates for my time, for my equipment, and expertise. That's normally how I price that stuff. Been a player here. How do I get an estimate for an LED video wall? I see so many churches with them, and I would like one for my church. What's the most cost-effective way to attain one? Any suggestions? Go to lednationusa.com. Look at the one that you need. You can go through their email, and they are very, very responsive. Tell them AJ, the CEO, sent you, and they'll be able to help you quick, fast, in a hurry. So if I go over here to, I hate having to go over here to turn this stuff off. If I go over here to LED Nation, they've updated their website. You can go here, pick whichever package that you think works best for you. So say you want to go with this one. You do a view that gives you kind of like the concept of what it would be. You just put your information in there, and they respond within an hour, if not sooner, if you want to get an estimate and all this other stuff from you. So again, that's lednation.usa. I know there are plenty of other places that do the stuff, but I have bought 10 LED screens through them. So I give them the business because they have given me great service. So that is what I work with. Back to AA Imaging and Graphics. I'm going to switch back here. Did you ever do a review? You already answered that. No, it's on the quiet side because I just wasn't talking loud. Because I'm maxed out. I'm redlining on my sound here. I'll make sure to just talk more directly into this. Mom's video. Good morning. Any trip scheduled to Northern California anytime soon? I'd love to come back over there. Somebody had told me about it. I haven't heard back from them from that. But as of right now, I don't have anything booked. But I would love to come back out that way. Jerry, what determines the VP09 codec on YouTube? My video codec is currently AVC1. I am not sure about that one at all, Jerry. I'm not even going to pretend to even know the answer to that. I do not know. But anybody else knows, I turn over to the community. Do y'all know that? Please help Jerry out. Pastor Mel, thank you for your books. They are great help. Hey, you are welcome. I also need to catch back up with you as well, too. I sent you an email so we can continue to get your stuff straight. Let me know, because I know I'm slammed today and tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow afternoon could work. But email me, and we'll see what we can do. Mike, We had power issue last Sunday, and the computer was behaving strangely afterward as well. Perhaps restarting will help. Yeah, I restarted it on that one, but it's like the Stream Deck is not functioning. I don't know if it's my USB stuff. I got to go back into vMix and make sure it's detected. Aiken, hello from London. Richard, why can't I get my Famako to set up in a scene in OBS? It is connected to ATEM Mini HDMI 1. I can see the image if I switch to camera 1, but can't get it in a scene. What else do you have open? When you have the ATEM connected to any of your streaming software, video from your capture device is one-to-one. So make sure that nothing else is using video. So another church that I was helping, they had an issue. That was in Baltimore when I was there on Tuesday. They were having an issue because their presentation software was reading their ATEM as a video input, so it wouldn't show up anywhere in OBS. So video from any capture device can only be used by one program at a time. So make sure nothing else is showing. It's not using your ATEM, and then it should show. But let me know if you still have any issues with that. On my Easy Worship 7 program, the preview is showing the theme as well as scripture, but when I click go live, the live output shows the scripture, but not the theme. I am not 100% sure on that one. I would turn that over to the Facebook group, which I didn't announce on here. I would ask that because I actually had just uninstalled Easy Worship this morning because I was trying to clean out some stuff because I was having some bugs on some stuff. I was going to reinstall it, so I don't even have it here to try and open it up to try and play around with that. But I would ask the Facebook group for that. And with that being said, if you are not, none of my stuff is, all right. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, folks, know that you can go to Facebook, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. And it's a community of people all over the place that are probably using your same equipment, and they could help you greatly. Philip Paul, hello, hello. And how can I get my ATEM Mini Pro IP address from my laptop? My laptop is connected through a LAN to USB converter. At times, the IP address run. I mean, if you get the IP address if you open up the ATEM setup software, and it'll tell you what the IP address is. That's the easiest way to get it. Tangelo, good morning. Mark wants to know, can you do bilingual scripture slide in presenter? Yes, you can. You probably, now, I don't believe it's going to work showing at the same time. I think you might have to actually manually make it. Let's see. Come on. See, I'm getting annoyed that this stuff is not working. Let me log into presenter real quick. And let's see what we can do here. All right, so over here, we're just going to make a new one. Say we want to do scripture. So I do not believe natively it'll let you do it this way. So if I see if I did Hindi and I want to do, let's say we just do Genesis. So if we, I need to do it full screen so we can see it. So see, if I do it like this and I move this out of the way, see, we can show it like this, but I don't believe you can actually do them both at the same time. I think, or at least I have not figured out how to do it in presenter at the same time like this. So I gotta think how we can do that. I think you gave me a video idea to try and work this out. So as of right now, no, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm gonna put that in my list of stuff to work on to figure out how to do that, because obviously there's a need if you're asking about it. Brandon, hello. Back to mom's video. Our church is considering getting PTZs. One location considered is on a pole next to an aisle. Problem is there is no power near it. I know about PoE, but our ceilings are 30 feet high. Yeah, that's kind of the same issue that I was just talking with a church in Baltimore. They wanted to do the same thing. They wanted to get another PoE camera, and PTZ camera, somebody told them that the PTZ was like $4,000. I was like, whoever you're talking to about that, run away. PTZs do not cost that much. I mean, they do, but you don't have to get that one. You don't need a 4K, 6K, and 8K PTZ camera. I mean, if you got the money to blow, go for it. But for them, their ceilings were around like 30 to 40 feet as well, too. And we were going to get a 30-foot pole. But I kind of recommended to them, I was like, hey, after you do that, do you see the nightmare it would take to maintain that? If you had an issue and you had to go back up there, you got to get a lift. You got to have a super tall ladder I mean, I'm not scared of heights. I just don't like being around heights when I'm around stupid people that want to play games. So I wouldn't do that. But in that scenario, yes, if you have the logistics to get up there, then yes, you run a PoE. But what I would do if you do that, I would run 3 cables, have all of them send PoE, and have 2 of them inside the pole as backup. So if anything happens, you can get on a regular ladder, a 12-foot A-frame ladder, and you can get up there and get to that extra cable instead of having to run cables all over. If you're doing something that super high, run multiple backups so that you can avoid having to go all the way up in the ceiling to fix if you have an issue. That would be my recommendation. Yeah, folks, I'm saying, normally I would say this because I can't pull up anything here. Right now, my graphics and stuff are not working, but I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. If you're wondering why you couldn't leave comments, that's because you need to be subscribed to actually leave stuff here on our Q&As. And again, I'm gonna cut this one a little early because I'm having some technical difficulties here, and I'm in tech support mode. I got to go fix some power issues, and we're jumping all over the place. Depends on what time I get back, I may do another one this afternoon if I'm not just tired from everything that we're doing, or I might want to do something else. But I am going to start bringing back the church post-productions on Sundays. So the Sunday that we are not doing a roundtable, I'm going to start doing a church post-production showing editing and stuff like that to help y'all out as best as possible with that. So be on the lookout for that. So again, thank you so much for your time, but I apologize for cutting it short because powers issues going on and all this other stuff, and my stuff is not working the way I need it to right now, and I just don't have the time to fix this and run all over the place. But be on the lookout. Make sure you got the notifications on. That way you'll be notified when we start up another video. I can't do anything to show the supporters that are Patreon supporters, YouTube members, none of that stuff. And I got my phone on vibrate, and it's still sending me notifications. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Be on the lookout for my next live stream. Hopefully we'll have all this stuff sorted out as best as possible. Really appreciate it. And again, my apologies for being so short, but hey, stuff happens to all of us. So don't beat yourself up if stuff is not working, because hey, it's not if something's going to happen. It's more like when, and my win happened today. So I hope y'all have a great one, folks. And I got to jump over here so I can turn my stuff off, if I can find it. I don't know. I can't even find the stuff here. So anyway, folks, I hope y'all have a great one, folks. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we'll be seeing y'all on the next video, folks. Later.